Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this another brand new day. I think it's Tuesday, the 20-something of April. On my lap, I have a thick boy. Little Figmo. I dragged him out, got to pull on his tail, because I like hamster tails. They're just little nubby things. He's a sweetheart, an absolute cutie. When I first got him, he wouldn't even let me touch him like this because he was just so nervous. But now, as long as I don't touch his sensory apparatus on his face, he's pretty good with it. But he's a sweetheart. I woke him up, so I got to put him back into his cage. But this is little Figmo, and I think it's just awesome. What I like about this is they're like small, tiny animals that have no vested interest in being pets. In fact, they don't want to. They just want to live their lives. Now he's in there, so I'm going to pull the lid over so that he can rest and not worry about me jumping in there and attacking him. But he'll sit there on my hand and just be cute, and it's a good thing. Very, very cool. I mean, if you startle him, he's going to jump, but you know, they're not like wild animals that are attacking. I mean, he's wild, but you know what I mean. They're not like you get a wild mouse or a wild rat. If you grab a hold of it, it's going to go nuts attacking your hand so it can escape, even if you're trying to help it. They don't know. So I just think it's cool that you can put them on your hand and they'll stay on your hand. Definitely. I don't know if it's terror or just they're used to it or they know that you're not a threat. So anyway, though, it's a good thing. Now, I have unfortunately been up for a very long time. Not insomnia. In fact, I went to bed kind of early last night, 11:30. I was just tired, bored, hurting, and no need to stay up, so I went to bed. Unfortunately, 4 o'clock in the morning, I woke up with intense gut pain. Ow! I have irritable bowel syndrome, though it's not intense. Luckily, that's mild. And so that's one of the reasons my gut has hurt so much my entire life. And that's what woke me up, because of the irritable bowel. Eventually, I got up out of bed, 5:30, just hurt too much. So I've been in here since 5:30, 5:45, and been awake since approximately 4-ish, but that's about 4.5 hours of sleep. That's better than none that I sometimes get. And yeah, I wish I had gone walkies last night, especially since I'll continue about that in just a moment. So yeah, I'm tired and I am exhausted. Life is life. My rechargeables only fill up so far, and because I woke up from pain, my rechargeables didn't charge up as much as they even normally do. So yay. That's not really an appropriate symbol for the topic, but still. Anyway, walkies. I did not go walkies last night. I not sure why. I didn't even go downtown, but I didn't feel bad about it because I had gone walkies the previous 2 nights. Now, the reason that I need to keep going walkies, even though I can't do the full 6-mile round trip since I'm not on opiates anymore, if I do a 6-mile round trip in one go, I can't sleep that night. It inflames my nerves too badly, and it just sends my restless leg syndrome through the roof, and I can't sleep that night. So I got to make short walks. I didn't do that last night, which is okay. Intermittent exercise is good. I mean, you don't have to do everything every single day if the idea is to just keep your body in good shape. If you're a football player or you play in some kind of competitive sport, yeah, that's different. That's why they play even when they're sick. Well, they practice even when they're sick. Because for every 1 day you miss, it takes 2 days just to get back to where you were. So yeah, you would think by missing a day I'm setting myself back, except I have found that for myself, on the nights that I don't go walkies, I generally find the next day a whole lot easier. It's like I get weaker and weaker and it gets harder and harder to take the full walk, and then I take a day to just not go walkies, and then it's like boom, I'm back up here again. Yeah, my hands are up out of the frame, but that's the point. I'm up that high with my energy level just by not going for a night. So as much as I want to go walkies all the time, it's not always bad to not. And at the same time, because last night I was just listening to my heart, because for most, I don't know if everyone can do this, but I hear my heart, I feel and hear my pulse in my ears. Not usually well enough that I can actually count my pulse, but there are times I can even do that. But usually, like if I'm just sitting, I just have to go still, and then I can feel and hear my pulse, and then I can just count my pulse that way. My resting pulse, because of walking, is now 44. The average pulse is between 72 to like 110. For decades, my pulse was around 92. Just by going walking, my pulse, when I sit down, is now 44. Now, if I can do that in just 4 years of walking, anybody can. 5 years ago, just after my wife died, I was up to 325 pounds, and my pulse was between 90 and 100 and something. I now weigh 180, and I don't go walking every single day now. I want to, but it was really rainy, and I just didn't feel good. I was really cold yesterday, so... But if I can bring my pulse down to 44 in less than even about 4 years of walking, because I really started walking once I moved into my brother-in-law's garage. And it was a year after my wife died before I lost my house. So, if I can get my pulse down to 44, and there's 15 steps. I'm up on the second floor of a duplex, and my bathroom is downstairs, so when I have to go to the bathroom, I gotta go downstairs and then come all the way back up. There's 15 steps. And when I go up the steps and then walk into here, my pulse goes from like 44 to 46, and then pretty rapidly falls down to 44 again after going upstairs. And again, if I can do this just by walking, and that's all I did, just by walking, anybody can. So if you're one of the people that needs to get walking, needs to get moving, needs to do something, it can be done. It really can. It's taken 5 years. It's not going to be start today and it's done tomorrow. You're taking the first step on a 1,000-mile journey, which that's all of our lives are. I mean, our lives are, the journey is the destination. No matter what happens in your life, you have lived it. Whether you sit back on a sofa and do nothing, or you're out adventuring in jungles and bungee jumping, there are no rules. As long as you are happy, then you have lived your life. But if you want to live a longer life, the idea of moving around and doing things is very good. Which also brings me to this next thing I wanted to talk about. I just heard this morning off I watched the Philip DeFranco show, and he's got a morning thing where they do a deep dive into just one subject. And the one subject that they went into today is how in France, lightsaber dueling is now an official sport with official rules. Now, you may look at that and think to yourself, how silly. Lightsaber dueling? Well, people have been lightsaber dueling since 1977 when Star Wars came out. And there are a lot of rules that they've got to make it official. But the biggest reason that they wanted to do it, and the reason that I am completely 100% behind this, is if it gets people off the couch and moving, then they're for it. And it's like, hey, 100%. It doesn't matter why or what the reason. Well, I mean, it does. You don't want to get up off the sofa just to murder people or go out and just to sexually molest people. No, normal human interactions. That the sort of things I just mentioned, you know, serial killing, serial rape, that sort of stuff. Keep that in your head. Don't act out on that. But these other things like lightsaber dueling and all these things, these are good ideas. Get people off the sofa and moving their bodies. Because everywhere around the world in the developed countries where we have a reliance on technology and especially screens, everywhere that has that sort of tech has a problem with growing obesity and people not moving. And as much as sitting on your sofa and having, you know, enjoyment watching TV and not doing anything much else physical is entertaining and is just as valid as a life for you, it also generally means you're going to have a short one, because not moving, immobility, your body hates that. It hates it hard. In fact, that's one of the big things that they talk about when you're going through healthcare training. They have all sorts of manuals and books about the hazards of immobility and why moving is something you need to do. Because just sitting especially, even though there are people that are, I hate the word wheelchair bound, because if you're in a wheelchair, you're not bound, you're freed. You're able to go and travel through the world and do things. You're not bound. You are freed by your wheelchair. But for those people that cannot move a whole lot because of their physical situation in wheelchairs, because of, you know, age or infirmity or paralysis especially, I mean, it's easy to get paralyzed. It is easy to damage your nervous system. Incredibly easy, so please be careful. But immobility is terrible, especially for your kidneys. Well, your whole body. I mean, your blood, your nervous system, your muscles. In fact, just sitting for 8 hours in a job where you sit is actually bad for you. It relaxes the muscles in your core relax so thoroughly, all of them, that your core really just deteriorates when you sit. And that's not good. That's very bad. And apparently just getting up and wandering and then sitting back down doesn't really help. You have to just not sit. Especially since I get in here generally about 7 o'clock in the morning, and I don't go out walking until about 7 or 8 o'clock that night. So that's 12 hours of sitting in a chair I do, which worries me, because I got to keep my kidneys healthy as well as the rest of me. I mean, I'm not so worried about my muscles and my cardiac tissue. As long as I keep my sleep mask going, I should be doing okay now, cardiac-wise, cardiovascular-wise. God alone knows why, but my circulatory system has always been really good. I mean, back when I was an active alcoholic and I was donating plasma, there was so much fat in my blood that it clogged the filters. Everybody else's bags of plasma looked like bags of honey. Mine looked like a bag of milk. So my bloodstream has not always been good. But even 10, 15 years ago, when I was having cellulitis, they were ultrasounding my legs to check on my circulation to make sure it wasn't blood clots. And at least the circulation of my legs is wonderful. God alone knows why or how. But with me off opiates and all that, and up and walking and doing such, I don't know that the future is wonderful and long. But the fact that my pulse, bringing it back to that, is 44 is a very good thing. And yes, once again, if people can get up into an official lightsabering sport, then I say go for it. Nobody's being forced to. If you don't want to go out lightsaber dueling, then don't. But for those people that are, and being active, that's why I think things like the SCA, Society for Creative Anachronisms, something like that. I don't know if I got the acronym. I mean, it's SCA, but the words for it where you dress up and you go out and you do that Renaissance fair stuff. And if you are the fighting type, you go out and you fight and you battle. And I've watched that stuff. It's heavy duty. Came that close to joining it with my son when he was a lot younger and my wife was alive. But then my wife started getting a lot sicker and I didn't want to leave her alone. Which is good, because many times, even after that, where if I hadn't been there, she would have died a lot earlier. So, yay. But I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. In fact, there's a lot of comments, more comments than I can easily get to. But afterward, I'm going to read as many as I can, thumbs up each one I do, and answer as many as I can as well. So definitely a thumbs up. But for right now, I'm just thanking you for having left me a comment. A good comment, bad comment, a different comment. Just thank you for having left one. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. We're just not good at that sort of thing. And of course, I count as a range. Let me start that one again. I count in a range of 20 to 25 because even though I count in American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my fibro, depression, brain damage from alcoholism, and more, it's just... I got 1,000% better, but my memory is still horrible. So thumbs up. Let me get to my Chrome, because foolishly I use Chrome. Olivia Donahue, thank you very, very much. And Peach Scone, I like the name. Isaiah McDaniel, thank you very, very much. Chris with an apostrophe, thank you. Cyrene, I can't really tell. I think that's how it's pronounced. I hope. If not, I'm sorry, but thank you. ZaCD, I sure hope I'm close. Thank you very, very much. Brian A, greatly appreciated. JJ David, thumbs up and thank you. 629 Shashi, greatly appreciated. Gabriel Hamilton, greatly appreciated. Carlos Blanca Leiva, I sure hope. Thank you very much. Cats _777 with a 4 instead of an A. Thank you very, very much. Edward Ronald, thumbs up and thank you. Russian Timing, greatly appreciated. Joshua Winbergen, greatly appreciated. Sea Siren 161, thumbs up and thank you. How to Snoosa, okay, thank you very much. Had Hades Gaming with a 3 instead of an E. With my vision, it's hard to tell at times. I have to guess a lot. Streamer BTW, thank you so very much. The Red Hood, greatly appreciated. David Fryer, thumbs up and thank you. Pandora NYC1, thumbs up and thank you. Darcia Grace K, greatly appreciated. Tom Griffiths, thumbs up and thank you. And last but not least, Tallboy. Thank you, each and every one of you, getting me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, even in text, if not face to face. It's a good thing. Thank you so very, very much. Oh, holy smokes, I got so much time, so I might as well do this early. If you could check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, NearlySeniorCitizen.com. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome, especially since I now have no money for food. I have 2 slices of bread, a little bit of cheese, 1 package of lunch meat, and a bunch of frozen burritos. I'm hoping that'll last me until the 3rd of next month. But if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest, so thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get for my existence, a definite thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very cool, greatly appreciated. I would understand if you don't want to, but if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time. What am I doing with my hands? I mean, literally, it's like I'm insane sometimes. Well, not insane. More like if I was like an unidentified homeless person, the way I use my hands. I've never really seen any homeless people do that stuff with their hands, though we have a lot of people in town, in the 10,000 person town of Shelton here, that have some serious mental issues that are homeless. And it's entertaining, though sometimes worrisome, to go walking at night when they're out and prowling around. Especially like the guy who wanders around making Star Wars droid noises and then occasionally screaming like a Wookiee. It's thumbs up. I mean, I don't know what's going on up here, and our country that I live in, USA, sucks. It really does. So thumbs up for that. Anyway, though, I got this video. I got another video I need to edit and render. I got another one I have to record and edit and render. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that, my friend, is a very good thing. Have the best day you can.